spot Terra from Alazun and oh, Uncle wants us to listen, so yeah. Let's go and see what the first chest of the game has.
Just a piece of heart, so nothing too exciting yet.
We got a pendant in Desert Press. It didn't saw the other two.
I missed it as well, I'm afraid.
Okay, our lovely trackers got us back. Eastern Palace was a red crystal and Tower of Hera was a normal crystal. And Uncle giving us some fire.
It's an interesting start. You've got to be a little bit careful early on.
Well, Mirror, so let's hope that our runners don't forget that. Because it will cut out a minute out of our escape time.
Yeah, it's really easy to forget that you've got it and that it saves you so much time.
Yeah. After you rescued Zelda and picked her up, just using the mirror will bring you back to the entrance and cut out all the backtracking from the cell to the main hall. Our runners also are going to do some kills by going towards Zelda. They want to find a little bomb drop in order to be able to get to three chests in the back. And we are getting blue mail. So, really strong seat so far in the defense. Oh. Also, that fire rod, every enemy is just one shot, but they will take some time to burn, so that's always going to take a little moment.
Yeah, it's going to still be quite a quick escape, I think, overall.
The fire rod is one of the definitely easiest weapons as long as you don't keep on missing and missing and missing.
Yeah, as long as people are reasonably accurate, at least.
And we got a B, and everyone remembering they got the mirror, so yeah, quick escape.
The early bottle, at least, while it's only a B, will help with the Kakariko clearing a bit.
And alright, also remembering to switch back to the fire rod. You don't can use the mirror to beat enemies, that's just a bad effect that's going to happen.
No one's got any bombs yet, though, so we're going to have to see if how much people stop and look for them.
Well, in the snake hallway here, and one of the in the room directly after the dark cross room, there is a nice little possibility to farm a lot of enemies with just one fire rod shot. It looks like Dracarys is actually using our using his B and gets a bomb drop, so he's good. Alazun does the same, gets also a bomb drop.
I am very pleased with the B strats.
Yeah. And Wayne gets lucky, had two fire rod shots, the second gave him a bomb.
Last second clutch bomb drop there.
And Rust using the B in this room here will also get a few kills onto the rats and hopefully gets his bomb drop. But there is it.
There wasn't too much there anyway, so if they hadn't got it, they're not going to be missing out.
Yeah. But at least it's a map, so they now know where the exit for the escape sequences. So with escape here, it's going to be interesting what our runners will do. They will probably mostly go for Kakariko. But there are some people that prefer to go to stuff like Hudan and into South Shore after escape. All viable threats. Some people do it, many don't. We're going for the Kekplay, but skipping out on Lumberjack for now. Precarious looks to go over and check that and finds a full magic refill from the poetry. That should be T2. Crap is full of love. We don't want that.
Trackwisk giving us the lumberjack check at least. And it's trash.
20 rupees. You don't need Dorani?
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes it's worth killing Aghanim for $20, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will go towards Aghanim just for that 20 rupees. Except they really don't want to farm blind shot for 5 minutes.
And Borain taking the south route into Kakariko. He only grabbed the one bomb, which makes me suspect he might go for the... he'll go for the shop.
Okay, just another 20 rupee on the race game, so not going to get that.
There were a lot of big 20s early on this seed. Big amount of money in Thieves Hut there.
There was a coin. The coin on the library, I couldn't catch which one it was.
Also, silver's in the back of Thieves, and the red cane and Thieves Hut as well.
Oh, really stacked so far. Dracarys yielding for some bombs and gets them. Just need to hit it.
Moonpearl in the back of the tavern will be good.
Yeah. So we got a lot of items.
So we've got a few things, but none of them really yet lead anywhere.
Yeah. We of course have access to still access to South Shore, which is like a lot of items. It's about 10 items you get from doing the dam area and stuff. Then we also got, of course, the eastern area with 6 items you can maybe get there right now. You might not be able to get the last item in eastern.
Mostly this has just been a seed of big 20s so far, it seems like.
Well, getting close to zero money rupee by rupee.
Yeah, pretty close. And it looks like we're going to get another chance to see what's in the library.
And
I think that was
bombos.
Yeah, which means Boots could be away into ice.
Yeah, well, we
Well,
already
they've
got
got-
the fire rod.
Yep,
So,
just
yeah.
realised that.
We still got needed for my altar to rock. Oh, there's a hammer. Hammer in the dam. Let's get us closer to Dargot access.
Plus, it's the first like reliable weapon, which is always super useful to find early on.
Well, as reliable as you can talk about the hammer. Its hitbox is kinda known for not being that good.
But there's nothing stopping you hammering Y with it, at least. Dwayne.
Tries the hammer. Decides it's
And-
not worth it.
Demonstrates the wonderful hitbox of the hammer there for you.
And there's Darkwood access and another unique item and another bee. And some more rupees and even more rupees.
So this is quite a fast Dark World access, really.
Well, we don't have that much left, so it's kinda normal to get Darkwood access. It's more interesting that we could also go over to Tower of Hera and this mountain, so if someone wants to go out of slot, they could quickly go through a dark room and rescue the old man, check the Paradox Cave and get all the items in there. $20 rupees in the Ice Cave? No. I don't want them. They are much too cold for me.
But red is the best colour. So it looks like Dwayne's gonna take his money and go and spend it up at Zora.
Just getting a bit trolled here by the Minimodom.
Finally makes it through and is rewarded with his glove.
But more importantly, the single arrow. How could we play without the single arrow?
Well, you know, it's the arrow you shoot Ganon with at the end.
Yeah, we need to get that early so we don't have to shot it. Okay, just need to look out here for a bit. Those traps won't insta-kill, but 2 hits from them, that's death. Even in Blue
Yeah, they hit surprisingly hard for something that's just hidden in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, on Green May they do 2 hearts of damage and are alongside some of those red jumping things on this mountain, the hardest hitting enemies in the in the light world.
Which, you know, impressive for tiny little crabs.
Yeah. But they're also really fast, to be honest, so they can be annoying.
Buane not even taking his pity heart.
Yeah, I'm just wasting half a second for picking up something that useless. Understandable. AK Crisp right now at half a heart. But that doesn't matter, he's in 100 KO anyway. While fake flippering in the randomizer to prevent possible hard lock, you get set into 100 KO. And you get a map check for Dark World, Green Pendant, Ice Palace, Red Pendant, Misery Maya, and Path of Darkness was our second red crystal.
Which means with the bow, they could get both red crystals.
Yeah. Akara's going for Tashra right now.
While Hype Cave, with the sword, ice rod, quake, and the lantern, is coming back to its glory days, it feels like.
Yeah, kinda 3 out of 10.
Ooh, it looks like AK died on the way up through the river. There wasn't anything up there, but still something that you don't want to do. And the bow was just found in the back of Sahasra's closet as well.
Wow. Bones and back of Sahasra's closet, that's going to be its location. Unless AK and Dracarys found it, but Buane, they won't find that so easily. AK might say to go over the bridge next, but he will probably go for Catfish and Pyramids there.
It can be easy to put off Eastern and Pod until you've found the bow. So until they go there, but once they do, because they've got the mirror, I think they'll find it very quickly.
Yeah. It's not suppose they don't really want to get into the area. you don't want to go towards Palace of Darkness twice. That's a long way.
Yeah, it's awkward and out of the way, so it'll be interesting to see how long people put it off for.
Yeah. But another interesting thing is, without the lamp from Hype Cave, Dracarys will have to get through the dark rooms in Eastern Palace. Without much navigation, he doesn't even have a sword. But with the items he got, he will be able to get himself some visual pass. There's the coward mail in Eastern Palace. We don't see that. Oh.
That was a nice
in
hit.
the Sage's closet. Yeah, nice. In case you weren't in here with, in case you were in here without the bow.
Buane just beelining Moth, which is a fairly common tactic. You have to do the boss anyway.
Yeah, especially if it's a crystal, it's a really good choice to go ahead and just finish off the boss. He does have all the items he needs to do that, but he's kinda low on equipment. Only 6 hearts, blue mail, and well, fighter's rod. He might be able to just release his speed to make some stuff happen, but it's going to be a hard fight anyway.
It's definitely not a fight I'd ever want to try. But
that's true.
Yeah, that was something of a masterclass. And at just under 20 minutes, Buane picks up our first crystal.
So, in just a few moments, Dracarys will also get his first crystal. He just needs to get through a few more rooms without dying.
Also getting an early graveyard ledge check.
Graveyard Ledge being just this year, but it's also a location that many people put off for quite a long time, so good to get that one out of the way early.
Depending on how fast the seed is, it could just be wasted time, though.
So Dracarys now going over to Hype Cave, who will pick up their lamp and sword and all the other stuff, or don't. Okay, don't.
Did he not check Dam?
Looks like he didn't. Well, there's his hammer. Nice one.
I guess that explains why he didn't go to Pod and then Mirror to Eastern.
Yeah. That also explains why he did go to Sarashura so early.
Gawain also about to be disappointed by the shield, which he takes.
Not disappointed enough to not take it.
Maybe he's hoping for Fire Shield before blind.
The car is getting flippers from Arena. Wow.
An early Agner isn't super common, so if Swampers has some early progression, then that's actually a big leg up.
Yeah, he now just needs the hook shot, and he could actually clear Swamp Palace. And of course, with that early bow, I think he will probably after Hype Cage go over and beeline to Place of Darkness. Meanwhile, Wayne picked up the Master Sword in the C-shape house, so that's a really nice find.
Yeah, AK found that too a little while ago. We do get that the boots are hammerlocked.
Well, pretty much the entirety of Swamp Palace is hammerlocked. Ice Palace has 3 hammerlock checks, and yeah. I don't know what else is all considered hammerlocks except hammer packs, I guess.
It looks like the mushroom was in Thieves Town as well.
with that mushroom and the cane and the hammer, they can actually quickly do effect powder after they are done with Thief Town.
AK having to pop a potion halfway through Thieves. Dracarys, as expected, takes the hammer and bow and goes straight into pod.
Makes sense. He got that bow really early in a location that many people don't check for a long time, so make the most out of it. Get all the stuff that you can get with that bow, and hope that you get a big advantage out of it.
Plus, with the Eastern and Pod being the 5 and 6, I think this is actually just like adds even more weight to Pod's already quite large item count.
Yeah, right after this they can quickly go over and they will probably save and quit unique item in some place. Was it the hint? Wow. That pretty much could again point to our boots. No, plain sight. Okay. So that could mean something that Spectacle Rock and Hylia Island and stuff like that.
I think I don't know if we haven't seen Spectacle Rock yet, but it could be desert as well. There's not many plain sight locations left.
Yeah. Could be inside and outside of Spectral Rock, could be the floating island on this mountain, could be the desert ledge. Oh, free agent in chat reminding us there was a unique item in the library, and that is in plain sight.
Ah.
Yeah, that was a Bombos medallion, so.
Ooh, this blind fight is not looking great. And he bites it. Oof. It's easy to get back to, but it just wastes so much time. You're then in a worse position for the actual fight itself.
Yeah, especially without Master Sword. If you do have Master Sword and have some knowledge about the dungeon layout, there are a lot of keys that you can, a lot of hearts that you can pick up on the way to the blind fight and then get into a little bit of early stashes with the how's it called? Spot beams.
Come on, Allison. Round 2, you can do it. Yes, Annie.
Gets the second time. So far, Place of Darkness didn't have much.
Oh, the mushroom was in the digging game. Yeah, that looks like Pod hasn't, but in itself, been great, really.
Yeah. It still could lead to progression at planetary, but so far there wasn't really anything in here. Even though the bow was really early in the seed.
I mean, an early bow is always nice, and there's nothing wrong with clearing the 5-6 crystals out within the first, just over half hour of any seed.
So far it looks like our next progression is going to be on this mountain with the land at the dark. We got access to it. With the mirror, we got access to the Sahara area, and with the Sahara, we got access to the entire East Death Mountain.
Yeah, unless unless the boss of Pod pays out, then it kind of seems like it's leaning that way. And that's the nice thing about Silvers, with Dracarys taking down Helmasaur in just one nice shot.
It just has a map, so Palace of Darkness empty.
Yeah, Palace of Darkness a bust, and the mushroom just for some more bombs.
So looks like this mountain is for the next progression.
I'm still holding out a hope for a pyramid.
Well, it could also be Swamp Palace having something for us. Hookshot, that's Swamp Palace. Who's in for that?
I will cry tears of joy if there's a vanilla hookshot.
We could also for a shovel in Swamp Palace big shares with big key on left side with hookshot and the explorers. Let's be completely evil if at all. When being the first one on the mountain, finding some bombs from the old man, he thought that he doesn't need them anymore. He got everything done what he needed to do. Dracarys right behind him. Not going to seize down or Scorewood's not going to a Witch of Outcast. He's directly going for the Dutch Mountain player after finishing Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness.
I mean, given how Thieves and Skullwoods were both not super busy themselves, I think Death Mountain's going to end up being the better play for Dracarys.
And Dracarys will actually save some time because the hint will tell him, hey, you don't need to check above the post, while Arian Engels did.
Bad hints are actually the best hints.
Can I actually say this? I like that we just had 3 bomb jumps in short succession between 3 racers. And the big key in Tower of Hera is vanilla, fire-locked.
Well, I hope everyone wants to make themselves a cup of tea or coffee as preferred.
Yeah, just get yourself onto the packs and then wait for 45 seconds.
Dracarys actually needs surprisingly few items now to actually start being quite close to go mode. I mean, it's only like Mitt's hookshot, maybe a pendant.
We only need the medallion for Tower of the Rock. Medallion is not required. We don't need the flute. We'll only need well, hookshot and yeah, kinda it. Hookshot and maybe medallion, and maybe boots.
And the best place to find a hint about the Tower of Hera Big Key. So, thanks, hint.
Hey, if the hint is not in Tower of Hera, what should you do with the hint? By the time you were at Tower of Hera, you already forgot. Another student going over here and checking the hints from Palace. Finds out how was it a glove at Westering of Storm?
I think that's what it says. That is a super useful hint.
Oh, he could actually go in right now and get the glove if they no, he can't. He doesn't have the flippers. Oh, the flippers at Agina. With the item placement for flippers and for Dracarys really has a big edge at this point.
Yeah, the decisions he's made have paid off so well for him this seed. Which is odd, because every time I go to Agina early, it is 20 rupees.
Hey, once I just skipped Agina entirely. It had my mids, and the next seed I decided, okay, let's check him early. He had a single rupee. Yay.
So it looks like everyone's converging on the mountain pretty much at the same time.
Our runners right now, probably hoping to find the, well, especially Dracarys right now, hoping to find the hook shot up here on this mountain. But, and the nice little idea is, of course, the myths are in Swamp Palace. How about we put the hookshot on Darkness Mountain?
Dwayne going over to Spike Cave to check there.
Definitely a good choice. Meanwhile, Dracarys skipped out of that. Did safe and quit to Link's house and goes over to some water checks.
With no blue cane or cape, of course, Dwayne is just going to be face tanking all of this damage.
Yeah. It's of course not logic without either cape and two magic bars or KF mana bars. Tempered Sword is nothing you don't care about that much for logic, you just want it.
Yeah, it's always a great find, the red sword.
And Wayne going over to the Dark Palace and Eastern Palace area. And is Dracarys now going for Swamp Palace? Or is he going for some route into Kakariko from south, which of Outcast?
I think it's either going to be Pyramid or Swamp.
Of course, yeah, Pyramids. It makes a lot more sense than Swamp Palace.
But if he just checks that Swamp Palace in...
yeah, that would be so big. But I guess it would be just as big if he finds the hookshot in Pyramid Ferry or something like that.
If he finds hookshot in Pyramid, he is very well set to finish the seed quickly.
Yeah, he will just have to go to Swamp Palace, which is the hookshot points into. He will find a hint that tells him, hey, just to that side swamp and you're in go mode. And wait, it's about 42.5 minutes, we'll find his bow.
I think he is still going to be pleased with finding that. He isn't actually that far behind.
Yeah, but that Flippers Arena will take him probably a long time before finding that.
And Pyramid was a bust.
Yeah.
So, no, you go.
But he still has catfish in that area, so he still has something to do, but so far it looks like Swamp Palace is the best answer at this point.
Yeah, it seems like, well, people are going to have to dip Swamp almost certainly without being able to complete it. So I think a lot of people are going to put that off for a long time.
That catfish is full of love.
He just loves the world, you know, wants to show it.
With that 7 quid to Sanctuary, I guess Dracarys will now go over to Scrolls and Seastone and clear Zeus, and maybe think afterwards about checking Swamp Palace, hopefully.
Does Dwayne not have the silvers?
According to this Hachi, that's just wooden arrows. The silvers were in the back of Blind's Heart, right?
Yeah, they were just in the back of the blinds hut. How do you... What the...
Wait, forgot to check the back of blind hut. I think that's just funny.
Oh boy.
Okay, our tracker literally Jen just confirmed. Wayne did go into Blind hut. He did save and quit inside after blowing up the bag before going in and checking it.
I mean, stuff like that is super easy to do, like, you know, and with the amount of times you play this, it's so easy to just think you've checked something when you haven't.
Yeah. Hager is now also going to get his bow, also at a quite reasonable time. Okay, but of course, all our runners right now are going over steps. All our runners already shown us that they don't give stuff. In the meantime, I would just ask guys to go and follow these runners. They are doing an awesome job in doing the everything in their might to entertain us and show us how bad Initiative Pass Randomizer can troll.
Yeah, and it is, you know, they're putting themselves out there. It's can be a scary thing, and it's easily worth a follow. And they're far better than me at this.
Recare is trying to do a hammer strats against Morsilla and makes it happen. Got closer, but Morsilla wasn't that scary. So, after our runners are all done with the things that the other runners already did, they only have vampires left, or am I missing something?
That's what I was just thinking. The only thing I can't get into my area, can't get into Dark Death Mountain. It seems like Swamp has to be... Well, we know the gloves are there, which kind of suggests that Hookshot is then going to be likely Mitz-locked, and that's not a pleasant order to find things in.
Well, the only thing that one of our runners could do different could be keeping the mushroom for a quick fake powder before turning it in and hoping that the powder is just on that darkest mountain and giving us the hook shot like that. Well, that's a bad thing.
I mean, those are some long odds you'd be playing at that point. And also, I think some people have just gone in and used their mushroom the vanilla way anyway.
Yeah, I think Wayne and Ellison did. I don't know if Arcaders still have their mushroom. Okay. Yeah, Chad wanting Wayne to go back for his silvers? I'm sure he will never find the shivers in the seat.
Unless when he starts, like, a bit later on, if he's wondering where the mitts are and remembers, like, suddenly has that moment of inspiration that he forgot to actually check that. But no, I think Blaine is going to show us some silverless Ganon strats in a while.
Yeah. I think the only thing that would get him there would be searching for the flippers and thinking, maybe I shouldn't have skipped that one chest.
Chances are he doesn't realise he hasn't checked it by now.
Yeah. I'm personally usually thinking that then like 20 minutes after, did I actually check it or did I again skip it? Okay, I skipped it. Question check. No, we don't have the progress check. I'm still missing a glove. Wait, we don't missing the glove, we just haven't found it yet. We know it's in Swamp Palace.
And Drizzet's the only one who's seen that hint so far, and but Dracarys is the only one who's found the flippers. So at the moment, no one's even got that much of the picture.
Well, but just to be honest here, after Dracarys is done with Seafstone, he will probably go the south loop. And since he doesn't have that much afterwards, he will probably go ahead and at least check the hint in Swamp Palace.
You would definitely hope so. I'm rooting for him, definitely.
Yeah, at this point, Dracarys finding the Swamp Palace entrance before someone else finding the flippers is quite likely. Then again, Wayne checked almost everything that he can check at this point, so I think he only has Agina left after this, so he probably will find the flippers quite soon.
I mean, after this, he'll be able to then do Pyramid, so that will likely slow him down a bit. But yeah, I think pretty soon everyone's just going to be forced to go to Agina.
Also, that hint about the rules requiring the hammer. In my experience, it's like almost every time Swamp Palace if you get a hint about the hammer. Some really nice energy spread from Rain onto the Amos Knights. Just 18 arrows in the right rhythm and suddenly those Amos they don't stand that long.
Yeah, it's always a nice fight just from like the rhythm of it. It's pretty sweet. Especially when it's done well like it was there.
Yeah, not even shooting an additional arrow at the end like I always do.
Well, that's why you have to find the one arrow.
I want to keep that arrow for Ganon. Dracarys almost done with Seafdon. Well, he is done now. He is now just missing the Swamp Palace and the Rock Crystal. He can't get the Swamp Palace crystal without the hook shot, but he can get the mids out of Swamp Palace. He can't get the Turtle Rock crystal without the mids, but he can get the mids out of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, everything now is just waiting for people to go left side swamp, but like the number of options people have at this point is getting so slim so quickly that I think this is where they're all going to converge.
Yeah, let's just hope Dracarys doesn't go off until Swampy and then decides to quickly go Spike Cave and all those really far out of the way checks that he skipped on the way.
If nothing else, this order's going to give us a nice way of seeing who's ahead at that point.
Well, I would actually say Dracarys and Wayne are very close to each other with a slight edge to Dracarys. Wayne will still need to find their flippers, but they don't have that much left before they will have to find it. Dracarys, come on! Quickly, do the fake powder. It's actually really nice. You could place the portal right down here and just walk up. Once you checked it, just go back down. So it would be a really nice quick check from there.
Sadly, isn't going to be the case today, it seems. No one wanting to pay that bat his mushroom.
And it looks like the Dracarys isn't same quitting here, so he is on his way to Swamp Palace. And Wayne is on his way to Arena.
Yeah, they're both pretty close together at this point, I think.
Okay, Dracarys, don't.
Oh no, he's going to hand in the mushroom.
Yeah. Okay, I guess at least he's doing it the quick way.
Yeah, it's a pretty sensible way of doing it. It'll mean he can get back and get to searching swamp super quickly.
He just needs to remember to go back and search swamp. But yeah, I guess that just cost him the lead compared to Brain, and now they are pretty much even.
Meanwhile, Drizzt gets his 5th crystal.
Okay, Wayne going into the Dark Void, tries to strike Dracarys, goes back into his Dark Void portal. Boos are on their way to a bookshot-less Swamp Palace. Crystal Swamp Palace. We know there is a hint in here that really gives them the hint that they need to do left side Swamp Palace. I think at this point they would actually do it unless there is a hook shot in the first set of Swamp Palace anyway.
I think unless they get an early hook shot, I mean they have to. This is all they've got.
Yeah. Would be actually interesting if one runner skips in and so they get really, really early hook shot in here.
I think they'll both check the hint though.
Yeah, definitely. Hints are not often extremely worth it, but this time they are. So, we are about less than 5 seconds between Wayne and Dracarys right now.
Yeah, it is 5 seconds in it. It is close as anything.
So, quickly answer the question, chat. We know myths are in here. The two runners that are in here know, like, for 20 seconds now that the myths are in here. So, hookshot, go mode. Once they find the hookshot, they know what they have to do.
Unless the medallion for TR is something they don't have.
Well, if it's that case, then the medallion must be in Superman Cave at that point, just to make sure.
Once they get mitts, like Ice Palace opens up, the places that medallion could be for TR becomes quick, becomes big very, very quickly.
Yeah. Once they find the myths in here, they will be able to do the entirety of Doctor's Mountain and, of course, Ice Palace. Once they will find the flute, it could also do the entirety of Maya area and the Maya. So we got quite a lot of things that we will unlock in just a moment. That will be interesting. Who of our runners will take which path? Chat doing what Chat is doing the best and finding some really lovely ways to create the best seed ever.
The three swords, let's think. One,
Spike Cave.
Yes, Spike Cave was the third one.
The first one was Hype Cave, the second one was Sea Shepherd, and the third that only Wayne got was Spike Cave.
And both Dracarys and Boyne still on the same screen as Drizzt goes up to waste some money on a big fish.
Yeah, they pretty much kept the 5 seconds difference between each other. Even though they got some different problems and the myths. Satan could probably go to this mountain. Mountain makes more sense. Find out the Turtle Rock medallion because you need that. You don't want to have to go through Swamp Place again afterwards.
Yeah, and you've got TR. It's fully completable. It's a crystal.
If they can enter,
it seems the best option.
They could also find the boots up here and finding out that Bombos is Turtle Rock medallion. If they then remember stuff, then they could go ahead and directly get their Bombos medallion from library. Wayne, meanwhile, going not to the mountain and instead going straight for the publisher's in Smith sequence. Also, to one of the bootstop location, to one of the locations the boots can be. We got a hint earlier that the boots are hammerlock. One of the hammerlock locations is, of course, the hammer patch.
That's true. Could be hoping that gets to go fast.
He goes straight for the hammer pack, so interesting choice. And Turtle Rock is Quake, so we can open it. We got the Turtle Rock medallion. Hookshot is our go mode. Well, 99% go. 21 in 22 go mode. We still could have that little boots lock against tower. Heart container with the chickens? Is it the chicken intent? I never saw that.
If Hookshot is in TR, then I think this is going to be quite a fast seed for Dracarys, at least.
Yeah. Did Dracarys check any of the stuff outside of Touch Rock before this? He didn't look at the screen at this moment. Hey, Wayne just found a flute core. This is missed, so yay.
Opens up Maya as well.
Well, Maya sounds great, right? 5 more items in total. 88 risks finding their flippers at this point. Finally, and they know where they have to go.
Yeah, Drizzit is going to be sprinting into Swamp, I think, with that. Was it Drizzit? Whoever found it. And Purple Chest is a bust.
Yep. And Brain directly goes and cashes in his flute. Ooh, what was it, Midain? I couldn't quite catch it. Okay, that was Bombos. Misery Maya is boots locked. Because we know that Bombos is boots locked.
That's good for Blaine, at least. Although Maya is boots or hookshot locked as well.
Yeah, so... Oh, hey, hookshot. That's pretty much go mode for Blaine. Except there's this 1 in 20 chance for the boots being required in Dennis Tower. Who feeds the boots lock in Dennis Tower?
That is an awkward place for the hookshot to be. You need to do the frog.
This is definitely a really interesting siege so far. And Ryan actually did the right call in not directly going to the mountains, instead doing some more checks down here, getting the smith out of the way and finding the right stuff. Boots could still be in Ice Palace. Boots, of course, can still be in left side Gen's Tower. Or we still have a few shacks in Swamp Palace, could be Boots. How about Big Key on Argos and Boots in the Big Chest? And for the checkerboard case, there is a specific thing that's called Under a Rock in the Desert.
Dracarys finds powder over in Mimic Cave.
Yeah, now you can go ahead and actually powder. This will actually lead him away from Ice Palace and towards the flute, which will lead him to a Maya area, which will lead him to a Sockshot. So that's good for him.
Yeah, that works out in his favour, so that's good at least.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alstun and AK Drist are now boots going into Swamp Palace. Close to each other, like less than a minute difference between the two. So they will find their tactics quite early.
Yeah, the choke point of the mitts is just like forcing everyone to quite similar times in many ways.
Wayne found the big key. Knowing that the boots are hammerlocked, I would have personally gone ahead and quickly checked the big chest in here just for the chance that they are in there.
Dracarys taking the safety door.
Always a good decision. Don't go in risking everything. No matter how good you are, you will probably, well, maybe not probably, but possibly just die. No zero cycle Argus from Wayne. We are disappointed. But okay, he can't do this without the root, so acceptable.
Yeah, I think if he zero cycled Argus with no boots, then some people would be very excited to find out how he did it.
Well, that's why he should have checked that big chest first, because then you would have the boots and could zero cycle them. And he goes back in for that one chest. He is technically in go mode, but he knows that the boots still might be required, and he knows that the boots must be hammerlocked. So, checking this quickly, I personally would have chosen to do it before the boss with the big key location, but it's definitely a good choice to quickly go ahead and do it before finding out that the boots are required in Dance Tower. And the boots are not in Swamp Palace. So, what is our next best location for the boots? Ice Palace?
I mean, players have got to be hoping it's somewhere in GT that's hammerlocked, but could be, yeah.
Yeah, Dance Tower has 5, about, I think it should be 10 hammerlock locations in it. With the render room, the Starforce room, the torch, wait, no, not the torch, the fire snake, and the run room directly before the render room.
And Dracarys cleans up Trinex just as Brain enters the dungeon, so might get a bit of a crossover here.
Yeah, the difference is Brain, after clearing out Sakura, will be able to directly head over to Dance Tower. Dracarys, in the meantime, will go ahead and check a few of the locations that are over here, just for finding his soul shard. That is completely the other part of the Dark World.
Sadly, we know that these chests are essentially dead at this point.
Well, that is fine, I guess.
Yeah, third sword is pretty nice find.
Yeah, AK Dress actually also found his flute. He goes ahead and activates it, so he might be able to finish the feat before Dracarys, just because she found that flute really soon. Soon in the meantime, decides to go for Death Mountain like Dracarys did.
Oh
So
no, Dracarys, no!
check your fetch quest, please. The flute is on the way, which will lead you to Maya, please. Oh no, no, please, no.
Oh no.
So his saving grace is there are 3 hits in Ice Palace. The first one wasn't really helping much with Into Hammer, but there's still 2 more hits in here. They could be talking about the hookshot being at rock under in the desert, and the flute required frog. I don't know the actual. But it could be the flute being on sound friendly, I guess.
It's still a bad place to be when you're committing to a pendant and you're not going to find anything.
Well, on the flip side is okay. I either will find my flute in here, or I have a chance to find my hint for the flute in here. So, not for the flute, but for the hook shot. So it's actually a good play. On the flip side, it's not the right play for the seed, though.
Allison making the same play. Oof.
No. But Allison at least didn't do touch rock while they were up there. So they will be able to route it in with Ganon's Tower at the end.
Assuming that they find the hook shot before they go up to Turtle Rock, which still could happen.
Well, if they would plan to do Turtle Rock before anything else, they would have cleared Turtle Rock right when they were up there. At this point, I would guess they will do everything possible before going back to Turtle Rock. And meanwhile, Agilbert did found the flute, but didn't go to my area for his hook shot. He's right now in Turtle Rock. He will be able to clear this dungeon, but he will not find his hook shot.
What was Dracarys' clue that made him just instantly dip there?
Where? To answer the question in chat, Kurzer does require the hammer. The same goes for Q or chest on the hookshot lock side of Ice Palace. So Dracarys right now going for the Smith sequence. Will be interesting to see if he decides to leave the purple chest behind or go to Maya, fighting with Cisco mode, or if he will do purple chest first. I personally will assume he does purple chest first, just because it's the logic to play.
And with that, Dwayne has everything he needs to enter the tower.
Chat, numbers. Can you explain the numbers?
Well, as most, if not all of you will be aware, there are 22, I believe it is, possible locations in GT that could contain the big key. And we like to do a little game where you guess which one it'll be in. It'll be based on the order that Dwayne looks, so...
Yeah, if you want to look for the boots requirement, you want to check out that it's going to be on the torch. It would be 1 if they go left first, would be 3 if they would go no routing, and would be 7 if they would do right side first and then go to left.
It's when you see it.
Yeah, the torch counts once we see it, and Wayne really wants to find it out. It's just a small key. So, no boots are not required.
Rip those boot dreams.
Yeah. But, Wayne going for the left side here, which is part of Gensowitz that is hammerlock and therefore possible for the boots. So he will find the boots in the
Boots!
search. Gotta go fast. He is going for Dark Magicians or PKR strats based on when he will mirror. So yeah, definitely a nice play. And there are no keys in the right side hope room, so if this plays out, this plays out great. Because otherwise, no one, without DM strats, no one would be able to go ahead and check this site.
Torch has to count when you see it, by the way, otherwise it would never count because the amount of times you pick stuff up from it is basically 0 if it's not the key.
Okay, nice shield combo, and he's going for the key. I think we are now at 11. Half magic in Desert Palace. Carrots, please just go to check out what cave.
Helpfully letting us know what Saha's carrying at least. Oh, Dracaris.
So our next chest is going to be number 13, and afterwards we are going to head into the render room with 4 more chests. We're obviously not that familiar with red boomerang strats for Ganisawa. The Zoots are not that famous amongst most runners. They usually want to have the blue boomerang, but red boomerang is really good, and it's number 13. Big key in chest number 13.
And with that, Dwayne begins his ascent of the tower proper.
Yep. He is also the one runner that of our feature that didn't find the silvers in the most obvious place.
Well, I'm pretty sure Dwayne's competent enough that that's not going to hold him back that much.
Yeah. And Dracaris at 124.57 finds his hookshot and picks it up. He is in go mode.
And he only needs to do the back of Swamp.
And to answer the question, Jack, the silvers were in blind shot, the back of blind shot. And the hook shot that was in checkerboard cave with the flute for it being smithed by the smith. Well, actually, Wayne missed that one chest by bombing the wall, but saving and quitting out. He did Lost Woods first and then came into Kakariko from the south, so that was his last check in Kakariko, and he just thought he was done.
And that was fast and textbook Moldorm.
Well, I still haven't seen Moldorm, but I saw two other ones, Landmollers and Trinix. Who's getting killed in a really quick succession?
I meant Landmo.
Alas soon deciding to go ahead and pick up the purple chest, which will lend some not much of usefulness. When having enough heat and all the equipment he could possibly want, except maybe silvers, but who cares? He's good enough to do it without. Skips most of the chests in the Gannon Tower climb here, and just goes ahead and tries to not die to Moldorm.
The issue is never dying to Moldorm 2, the issue is falling to Moldorm 2.
Well, I died once soon, so for me it was situation once.
I have fallen to Moldorm 2 far too many times.
Well, I fall to Moldorm 2 on a regular basis.
And a pretty solid Aghanim.
Yes, a solid fight with not that nice balance from the King of Geometry. Alas, in finding the hookshot. So that we are entering the Ganesh fight at 129.11. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be 12 slashes or 6 spins, or a combination of those, and then another 12 slashes and 6 spins. And
brief go at the dash strats. I love the dash strats.
And evading inside the fireballs. That's really extreme. Now we're in phase 3, going to have to hit him 4 times when he doesn't teleport. But Ganon can teleport a long time, but all teleports are the same for all of our players.
Yeah, the seed makes it so that everyone is on the same footing with a lot of the RNG parts of the game. I also want to draw your attention to the fact that Drizzit, the last of our featured runners, has found the hook shot.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Dracarys already finished up some players, so he will go ahead and go to against Tower soon.
Why was Allison in ice?
I don't think if you want to know that.
And Blaine is continuing to make solid work of Ganon here.
Yeah, in this last fight you need to do either 12 spins on Temperat, or if you feel really bulky, 24 slashes, but slashes are a lot more precise. And with that, get your GGs into the chat. Wayne is our first street runner to beat Ganon, and hopefully not fall off the bridge. He is done. And actually not only on the real stream, he's the first in the entire race with an official air time of 1 hour 31 minutes and 8 seconds. GG's. By the way, he still did the silver list. We will check if we can get an interview with him. In the meantime, Akelrist, Alston, Booth are now in Swamp Palace, going to finish their 6th and 7th Crystal Dungeon. And Alston will have to do Turtle Rock before going into Gensor. The Carrot in Gensor decides to quickly go ahead and do the Oh right, he did gas shots, I guess.
Unfortunately, Dracarys' routing choices means it's going to be a while before he gets his key.
But at least he found himself a red shield.
If only he'd picked up that one on top of the graveyard, he'd have the full one by now.
Yeah. The witch, of course, it was giving us some bombs for a mushroom. Was definitely a good trade.
And we've got two people fighting Argus at the same time. So at least the third and fourth of the restreamers is going to be quite a close race, it looks like.
Well, except for the fact that since there's the entirety of Turtle Rock.
Yes.
There is now going into the Gauntlet of Arkansas.
And we have our second place finisher of the race with a time of 1:35.15. That's Ninjembo.
And Pedestal had arrows. Vampire Skewers means there was a 10 pack of arrows on the pedestal.
At this point, it does seem a good time to remind people to give all of our runners a follow on their respective channels. They definitely deserve it. That was a great race from Blaine, close from Dracaris, and solid efforts from everyone.
Third place finisher and the entire race is Killer App with a time of 1:36.04, so some really close first third place finishes.
Yeah, Blaine, sorry about that.
Yeah. Don't say it could be for checking back of Blindside next time, please. We thought you had silver for like 20 minutes before we realized it. And of course, since our tracker Jen, we definitely got reminded to that you skipped silvers. And she even reminded us how it came to it, so thanks Dan, you really did a great job reminding us. Taking the quick refill in the room before Molom 2. Good decision to get back onto full health at this point.
Very fast, Moldorm 2.
Yeah, but no hour, so swag punch lost. We just got the fourth place finisher Neo Terrific with a time of 1:38.39. Still very close to all the other places.
Ooh, was that a 2 or a 3 for Dracaris?
I think that was a 2 with one hitting the wall. Okay, that was definitely just one. And there he goes. The big key and gunstone that was in that room with all those fire snakes where you have to shoot across that gap. And the fifth place finisher is 24 with a time of 1:39.30, so these two are top 5.
And Magnificent has finished in 6th with a time of 1:40.06, which is an increase on their PB, so congrats on that.
Yeah, random PBs are important. But of course, right now Dracaris in the gun fight, the same applies to him. He will have to do 12 slashes, 12 slashes, 4 slashes and then 12 spins. Well, he has silver, so he can do a bit quicker on the last phase. He will just be able to use 4 silvers after making the pick blue.
Got him in stage 3. I think this is going to be fairly quick from here on.
It was in the gauntlet 2 health left and avoids a lot of things in the just barely.
Happily, they did find that powder earlier, so some good safeties in GT if you've got the powder.
Yeah, and Dracarys now second on our restream just beat the Ganon. He shot him down with a lot of arrows. You want to get some GGs into the chat?
And he finishes with a time of 1:41.28. So get your GGs in chat for Dracarys.
Yeah, 7th place in the in the race overall. That's a really good time. And we will get prepared into the interview, it looks like. We just give him a moment to set up. And we are now joined by Dracarys, 2nd place on the Rich Beam, 7th place overall. GG's to you.
Thanks, GG.
Do you want to know how close the race was before you went the entirely wrong direction?
I don't know.
You were 5 seconds ahead of Wayne finding the mids. And then Wayne pretty much got the God route, thinking, got for the Smith and to the my area.
Yeah, I think Smith was just a better player. It was just, I was still thinking about the boots hint. I thought maybe I can find the boots in Ice Palace, but when I found the boots hint in Ice Palace, it told me the boots are against tower. I immediately left.
Yeah, that definitely was a good decision at that point. Cut your losses, and yeah, you still got 2nd place on the restream. But I personally like the idea to go to Culture Rock before going any other checks, because you still only had 1 medallion. What do you do if it's easier for Culture Rock?
I was just hoping that Turtle Rock was Quake, or at least I wanted to go up there to find out if I need another medallion, because I knew where Bombus was. I had Quake, and well, I guess I could have searched for Ether if I need that. It was mostly just to get the knowledge out of the way, and since I had the medallion, I just, well, went in there.
Yeah, it was definitely a play that many people would have done. It just wasn't the right play for the seed. But yeah, at least you did found the silvers compared to green. And yeah, the silvers were in a pretty obvious place, so he had some unfortunate things happen at that point.
Also, I want to point out how I had how I was basically mids and hookshot for go mode at 25 minutes in, and had access to 5 crystal dungeons and to the front half of Swamp. And none of the 5 crystal dungeons had anything of worth. But the front half of Swamp had my mids, and it also had a hint for the mids, which I skipped.
Yeah. You know, AK Driss, who's right now on the gunfight himself, did found that hint much earlier than you are behind it. He searched for the flippers another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Because the flippers were in a really bad spot, because you had no reason to go over to the desert area unless you routed in with the dam, because the flute was locked behind the flippers, basically, because the mids were locked behind the flippers. And the book just didn't show up, so your only reason to go over to that area would have been Agina's cave. And so I imagine many people would just last location their flippers in this scene.
Yeah. But not only flippers were and last locations, the board was also very late for most runners. Being a charge runner, a place that many people like to put off for another hour or two.
Yeah, I can see that happening. If you get your hammer from the dam and have Dark World access, you put off the eastern area for a while, because you have better options.
Yeah. But putting off the dam for a combination with Agina's cave was definitely giving you some advantage early on in the siege. It just nothing paid out.
Yeah, the flippers just didn't really do anything until I actually went to Swamp Palace, which was my last location, so at that point the advantage was basically gone.
Yeah, I guess the right play would have been to take the advantage and directly go into Swamp Palace, but at the same time, who wants to go into hopeless Swamp Palace?
Yeah, who wants to go into Swamp Palace, which you can't complete if you can just do 5 other crystal dungeons instead? I mean, I thought about doing it, but then I got my lamp and my sword and everything in Hype Cave and just said, well, we can do 5 crystals now. Maybe we should do those first before we just head into Swamp Palace. But Swamp Palace would have been the right play.
It would have been some Galaxy Brain.
Yeah. Of course, AK Driss now also finished with 46-41 in 8th place award, so right behind you. GG's to him. Let's see if we can get him in here. Okay, there he is. Welcome, AK Driss.
Hey.
We hear some stream from you.
What's that?
From you.
Okay.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah.
That's a lot better,
No,
thank you.
better.
No problem.
Well, okay.
Okay.
That's also a possibility. So, yeah. Right now we are only Allison left in the gauntlet right now. And yeah, they will be just having to defeat the best group in the game for the cane. Just put the cane down and suddenly triple kill. So now, just quickly doing the left touch puzzle, not taking damage and falling down in order to get it a bit faster done. They are just at 5 hearts, and they probably want the safety just in case.
Yeah, I think at this stage you'd take at least a small safety given the choice.
Yeah. Even though Allison did some really unfortunate routing throughout the seat, they are still on their way to a really great time. They're just now at 150, and you will probably not need 10 more minutes to finish the seat. And we are now rejoined by AK Chris. How was the seat?
I guess it wasn't too bad if you ignore the last location flippers.
Yeah. Well, we only had one of our runners on the stream not going last location flippers and pretty much go.
I'm assuming that was
Paris. Wayne actually did last location everything, but he afterwards had some godlike routing decisions that led him pretty much to the win.
The main thing is Wayne went straight from the gauntlet to finding the flute pretty quickly.
Yeah, and straight from the flutes to the hook shot, so he had pretty much got vision to what he has to do.
Yeah, I was real close after getting the mitts to going to Meyer area, but then I decided, like, let me go check Dark Death Mountain because I can do Turtle Rock, and when does Turtle Rock not have the thing?
Yeah, makes actually sense. Even if you couldn't clear out Turtle Rock, just trying out if you need another medallion, that already is a lot worse.
Yeah, also to just check the medallion to see whether or not I needed to get the bombos from Lake Hylia. So,
well, Bombos wasn't in the library, and
with library,
Boots in against the Hordes, that was definitely nothing that we would have needed for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, good thing Meyer was bombos locked, so you didn't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, going up to Turtle Rock was a sensible play, just sadly the wrong one at this point.
Yeah. So, other than that, do you have anything to say about your execution or your routing decisions that you would have wished you would have done better?
Well, obviously, getting hook shot before, going in doing Turtle Rock, but other than that, I think routing was decent. Execution wasn't that great in parts, but overall the seed wasn't that bad. I have 145 collection rates, actually kind of low for me. So
I do just want to jump in and say that our last restreamed racer, Alison, has finished with a time of 1:53.36. So GG to him as well.
Yeah, all of our restreamed racers did a great time. All got below, it's up to you, and actually below 155 even for everyone, and most even below 150. So that were really great times from all of them.
So we're going to just see if we can get Alison in for an interview quickly.
Yeah. Otherwise, AK, Was not having boots, did that change, did that impact your playstyle a lot, or were you used to it already?
Not too much. Not having boots or hookshot really made it slow, because there's a lot of like speed ups you can do, with hookshot if you don't have boots. So that was kind of a bummer. But other than that, just walk everywhere, Seed.
Yeah, okay. And we are now also joined by S soon, GG's. Just finished in last place, but still with an awesome sub 2 time. So, well done.
Enjoyed the
Yeah.
seed then.
No.
Yeah, I saw your comment and you forgot you had Craig.
Yo, so I grabbed my go
Yeah.
mode, but I skipped right to ice palace. I should go back there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh no. Yeah, we were wondering why you were back in Ice Palace. Yeah, now we know. Well,
Yeah.
at least
Not
you.
my happiest day.
Yeah. If it makes you happier, Wayne did save us in back of Blindside.
Yeah, I heard that. I almost
Yeah.
got bit by that, but I think I pulled a bomb, or I think I pulled one extra bomb on my way out of escape, and that let me get the silvers.
Yeah, but other than the obvious mishappenings in the sea regarding medallions, what did you think about flippers and hookshot and bow being quite late?
Sphere 0 was really, really well populated, or Sphere 1, depending on what you call it, was really, really well populated this seed. And I thought we got enough to make me not need to be like, I'm gonna hunt down Agina, I'm gonna go check out the eastern area. And not having bow didn't really hurt me, since it was right there, and the only thing it really did is make me check catfish and pyramid and stuff before I did pod.
Well, then again, pretty much all dungeons except Swamp Palace are kinda empty.
Yeah, I would say the big entry point there was getting the Medicine Swamp, and I had the hint because I liked going in and checking that. But
Yeah.
I just never had flippers, and I absolutely last location to Gina.
So did everyone else.
Yeah, I think Drek didn't, but I think everybody else did.
I didn't
Yeah,
last location the
Drake was
flippers,
only-
but the last location the mids.
I would say, yeah, Drek wasn't cool enough to check the hint, or he wouldn't have last location the mids and would have finished 20 minutes earlier.
Well, he checked the hint. He just never came around to get close to Swamp Palace before before finishing pretty much everything else.
Also, I assume like in Hype Cave he would have had the chance to, because that's usually when I check that hint.
Yeah,
he
same.
had bow and hammer, so yeah, Palace
Yeah.
of Darkness looked a bit better.
I would say it was
Especially
very,
because the
very
lamp.
tempting. Yeah, the lamp definitely made me wanna. I mean, the lamp made me go to Death Mountain and do Hera, but I still was missing the bow because I never went to the eastern area, and I know Drac loves going to the eastern area super early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my bow before I got my hammer, actually.
Yep. He skipped out on them and checked the Modom and other Sasha, and then gone towards Eastern. Yeah. Anyone got some last thoughtful words about the seed and where you will if you will remember it in nice thoughts or bad thoughts?
Thank you for making this not an ice rod hunt, I guess, technically. I mean, the
Yeah.
hunt doesn't feel a lot better in this case, but at least it wasn't the ice rod for once.
Yeah, and next time, please don't place the boots in GT. Thanks.
just play glitch mode and you will always start with boots, but you might be expected to do a bit more with Zeus. But yeah, I guess we can quickly go ahead and finish this restream off. Anyone of you wants to say something before we do that?
Thanks to everybody who supports. Thanks to tracking people. Thanks to the commentators. It's less glorious, but it's more important than the runners, who there are 20 to choose from. So thank you all for that, and thanks for everyone who tuned in. I hope you guys enjoyed my troubles today.
Well, okay, with that, I will take a quick look at the Speed Game schedule, and I would definitely send you over to the Speed Game 3, where a double header between VVV, Kermit, and P-Train just started. And yeah, they will play for quite a long time. So that will be going on Speed Game 3. On Speed Game 2, if you want to wait till 7:30 PM, there's another tournament race, an Randomizer, and on Speed Game 1 at 8 PM there will be Metroid Zero Mission Any Person tournament, so definitely a lot of things to watch. But for us, on the Link to my daily race, that was it for today. I was Michael K, joined by, look, Buffett.
Thanks very much. And of course, big shout outs to Literally Jen and Drake Tempest for doing the tracking. It's a behind the scenes thing, but it's always super lovely to have.
Yeah, of course. Also, big shout out to Fiagel tracking the first half an hour.
Of course.
He did also a great job. But yeah, with that, we are going to say goodbye and have a good night and or rest of your day, depending on where you live.
Yep, have a good evening, everyone.